Ryan, Formula One is back, baby. It's back. The summer break's over. Yeah.
That's what I have to say about it.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
It was a long break. But here's the problem, Sam. I didn't even get to watch the whole damn race. That was,
What?
yeah, that was defeating. It was the one race where I really didn't get to watch all of it. But, you know, it was probably for better for me, as we'll get into here in a little bit. But there was some exciting stuff that happened.
Yeah, you missed out on quite a bit, Ryan. Your boys in red didn't do quite the best. Your
Yeah,
boy
yeah.
Lando didn't do quite the best.
My boy.
Um, well, that you're coming around to him, getting on his good side.
A little bit, I guess you could say. I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
I feel like the pendulum, the pen has dropped, Ryan. And I think because Lando DNF'd, right? Oil leak
Yes,
problems. And boy, oh boy, the points gap is big now between him
it,
and Piastri.
it is. It is very big.
What is it now? 34 points gap difference?
34. It's somewhere around there. I know it's just over 30, which is a considerable amount at this point in the season.
It's, yes. Because I think we have like 9 races left. I'm pretty sure 9 races left.
Yeah, God, that's
Uh,
crazy.
I think this might be way too early to call, Ryan. And call me out if I am, but I think, barring anything that happens to Piastri, which is very easy to do, I think Piastri has one solid hand on the championship trophy.
I agree. The only thing that's going to stop him is if the pendulum swings back and he has a couple DNFs and Lando's able to capitalize on that. I don't know if that's going to happen though, because throughout the entire season, Oscar has remained calm, cool, and collected for the most part. There's been a few instances where, some tempers have flared, but he looks solid. So as barring any issues with the vehicle, which who knows, that could happen. I mean, the power unit went out for Lando this race, and that was very unfortunate for him. That could very well happen, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to change the momentum at this point.
That was such unfortunate timing because I think he was going to change his engine next race at Monza. A lot of teams usually do. It's a high
Hmm.
power track for coming into the last third, fourth of the season. They get new engines for the rest of it. And for his engine to kaput, like, what was it, 9 laps left to go?
Yeah.
Uh, Honestly crazy. And I'm telling you, Ryan, it's making, Formula One's all about good luck, bad luck, and performance, right? I think Lando is really going to be hurting thinking back to his performance in Canada. Because if he didn't DNF in Canada
Dude, yeah.
from his own actions, he'd be much better sitting here right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think, Ryan, he knows what the rest of the season is going to be like because he already had this viewpoint from last year. Last
Hmm.
year is when his car got good and Max's car got bad. He started dominating the Netherlands and he had a solid chance. And he was about 40 points behind Max or so. And it was most likely he was going to win every single race. And Lando quickly found out that, like, oh no, you have to be perfect, perfect, perfect if you want to beat Max at a 40 point difference.
Hmm.
And so now he knows I only have 9 races to do this. And is not Oscar might be just as hard of a challenge when it comes to his performance because Lando came back and led every practice session and killed it. And he led most of the qualifying sessions. And Oscar's the one who pulled it off on Saturday and dominated the entire race in a terms of pace. I don't know what's going on through his head, but I feel like that's a really clear sign of being danger, danger, danger.
Sam, no, we already know what's going on in Lando's head. The photos from that race says it all. With him just sitting on the outside of the track with his head in his hands or in his knees, whatever, he looked defeated, man. I felt bad for him in that moment because it wasn't his error. Yes, Canada was his error, absolutely, and that really has put him in an even worse spot now. But for this to happen now, especially to come back from summer break where you have hopes, you think you're gonna have the momentum to come back and really take the fight to your rival, and then this happens when you're already on a mega charge for the race, and then what was it, like, less than 10 laps left, the engine just dies out on you? That's gotta really suck, man. So
Yeah.
I can only imagine the emotions he was going through.
And Ryan, he left We left Hungary with him as a winner.
Mm-hmm.
0.7 seconds ahead of Piastri. Close win. Um, Belgium he lost. Great Britain he won. So he's kind of on a hot streak out of the last three. Really, he got Great Britain over Piastri because of Piastri's mistake. Belgium was Oscar's to win, and Hungary was Lando's to win. And we talked about what kind of confidence he will need coming back from the break, and to be boom hit was such a harsh one, which is a complete 180 from a year ago when he dominated this track. Simply Lovely, huh? Came from here because of how much of a domination he was,
Yeah,
and
it
everyone's like, "Oh,
was.
this
It
is
was.
Lando's track," and lo and behold, Oscar just killed it, man. He just killed it. Um, yeah, and I don't think Lando's going to be aggressive enough to play any shenanigans on Oscar, because I don't even think Lando wants to win like that, Whereas I think other drivers would.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think if you put in the situation of last year, especially when you're going against Max, I think it's easier for Lando to call it off that way. But when it's your own teammate that's your championship rival, I think he might have to just swing for the fences. I think we might see that from him here in the back half of the season, especially in the position he's in now. It's the only way he's going to eat into this deficit in any way possible now. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Lando tried something. Will it work? I don't know. Probably
can we
not.
put our Can we put our feet in Oscar's shoes real quick? What does it feel like to be gifted this points haul, which is kind of crazy out of itself? But you won. You did great. You're feeling good about the championship, and your whole team is kind of like, fuck, Lando didn't get the win. Lando didn't get top two. Because I'm telling you, I've never seen Zach look so disappointed. I didn't see the garage look so disappointed. And it just felt like a very awkward win situation for Oscar.
That's the dude. The culture at McLaren really baffles me. I think a lot of the team cultures honestly baffle me when it comes to certain situations. But McLaren is just a head scratcher. They do not make any sense. You have the arguably the best driver lineup. You have the constructors championship in the bag. They have both hands already on the trophy. Like they're sold. They're driving home with it already.
They got two hands and their penis on it. They got it. It's theirs.
Zach's already pissed on it. He's claimed that thing. And yeah, it is mind blowing to me how they treat Oscar sometimes, and whenever Oscar benefits from Lando's either mistakes or shortcomings. And yeah, it is weird. And if I was Oscar, I wouldn't know how I would feel about it. But also, I feel like Oscar doesn't give a shit because Oscar's just there for one thing and one thing only, and that's to win.
There's a party, Ryan. I wish we saw. I think he's more. I've compared Oscar with Max quite a bit, and there's like similar demeanor. But I'll tell you what, I think Oscar's even colder because I just don't see any. He wins these races, and he's like, yeah, I got the points, I got the trophy, yay. We got that from Max when he won like 9 in a row, but when he won a championship or he won a hard fought battle or he wins qualifying in Japan, it's like, oh my, let's go, And I just don't see this from Oscar, and I'm like, is he okay? Is he a
He didn't get enough love either as a child, I guess.
no?
There's something to his origin story. There has to be at this point. I'm convinced.
Cold. It's cold, dude. He's cold.
He's a cyborg. That's
Maybe he's just upset that his team isn't, supporting him.
Well, I'll tell you who is supporting him, and that's Andrea Stella.
Dude, yeah, because I think, you know what? Because I think he's like, game respects game. He's like, this is my boy.
Yeah.
I feel like McLaren has a very like, Lando has been around with us for years now since their revitalization, and Lando's been with them.
There's
an
automatic loyalty towards him for that.
Yes, and I think Andrea is a Oscar stan, and Zach Brown is a Lando stan. And I think if Zach had his way, it'd be Lando all the way,
Mm-hmm.
And I think Lando's more marketable too as the two drivers in a social media perspective.
Yeah, until Oscar's the world champion.
Sure.
That's gonna change real quick.
I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see if there will be a flip within the team dynamics because
how could there not be, man? Because at that point you have a champion in your championship winning car too. Like there's no way
not back him. Yeah.
there's no way you can go back from that. You can't start next season and be like, all right, guys, we're just going to play it out and see what. No, you're going to fucking be like, hey, Oscar's number one. Lando, you got to support this guy now.
I think it's very interesting, Ryan. I don't know. Because of that situation, I don't know what Lando does for the next year. I think, honestly, Ryan, I think if Lando doesn't get the championship this year, it's going to really, I think he will be the what if champion. Like, I don't think if he doesn't win it this year, I don't think he ever will win one.
Well, that's what I keep saying, man. I don't know what he's going to do after this season. Like, does he leave? Does he stay? Does he just accept the role of being the second driver finally? Or like what happens to Lando? What is going through his mind now?
The
What does
world
the
wants
future
to
hold?
know, where is Lando Norris?
For real. He's going to disappear. Long ago, he vanished. 100 years passed. That's what's going to happen to this boy. I swear to God. We're going to have to put him on suicide watch or something.
He seemed a little bit better in the in his like post-race interviews. He seemed a little bit more jovial. I think that's a part of his psyche, just snapping and coming to terms with the season. But in the moment, he was stranded on an island, and he was just waving at the other guy that was stranded on an island, which is Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
So like, he's like, you know what? He's like, game respects game. We're both kind of fucked right now.
I
Well,
don't even know.
actually let me ask you, Ryan. How do you feel as a Ferrari fan seeing some harsh images this weekend? I thought, there's been a lot
Ultimate
of
aura farming by Charles, man.
you made the most of it because you know what, he knew,
Yep.
and I knew. As soon as I saw him sat there, I'm like, oh, the pictures are gonna go crazy.
Oh yeah, I have a few of them saved on my phone now.
They did.
They go hard. I'm not gonna lie, they really do. I also love how the everyone was like, "What was he doing on his phone?" He was just listening to the commentary of the race.
Right,
He wanted to
that's
know
not
what was
his
going
phone.
on.
That's the funny part. There's no way it could have been his phone. It's not in his
Yeah.
car. He had to get that from either a photographer or a racetrack steward kind of a thing. Which, like, how do you say no to Charles Leclerc asking for your phone?
Dude,
The answer is you don't.
I would drop down and do whatever that one man wanted me to do.
I'd have been like, you can enter your phone number here first, and then you can have my phone, and we can be best friends.
You can give me a kiss first, and then I'll do whatever you want. Please.
I think
you
Ryan,
can step on me.
Ryan, it's cosmically funny on how bad Ferrari kind of is, because like what
Sam, at this
what did
point,
they
I'm going to be a Cadillac fan next year. I'm convinced because I can't deal with this heartbreak, man. I really can't. Like, fucking Lewis. Let's start there. Let's start
okay,
there first.
start with,
That's
yes, please.
that's where the first DNF happened going into turn 3. And God, listen, for Lewis, it's okay, Rocky. You go when you want to, but I also expect
Damn,
for
Rocky,
you
get
to.
going.
I also expect you to know how to not go too far into a turn.
Bro,
And spin out. Dude, it was so demoralizing whenever you texted me and you're like, Lewis is out. I was sitting on the train. I was excited about the day. I was excited about the updates you were giving me. And then that hits, and I'm just like, hello, darkness, my old friend. And yeah, so I was like, great, there goes his psyche for the rest of the season, because I know he was hopeful that he was going to turn it around, but that's got to be a huge killer for him at this point, man.
bro, how is it not? Because like I've seen some Sky Sports trying to spin it like, oh, the back kind of snapped out on him. He lost the low control. No, we just watched the
No.
highlight. We just watched the highlight. He went in too deep. He put his tire on the wet paint. It was drizzling just a little bit. And guess what, Ryan? He's the only one to have done
Mhm.
that. Who were the 3 people that DNF'd? It was both. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got 3 people that DNF'd this entire race. We got Leclerc because of Italians, Lando Norris because of oil troubles, and then
Lewis forgot
Hamilton's
how to handle a turn.
it's the most self-inflicted wound, dude, and it's
Like,
concerning.
I'm still holding out hope. I'm holding out some sliver of hope.
Opium.
Sam. Yeah, at this point, man, that he'll have at least one good performance somewhere on this calendar. God,
He did
please.
China sprint.
In an actual race, okay, not a sprint. At some point, I'm hoping, man. If not, I might just end it on this pod. I might just live for everyone to watch. Okay.
Just trying to get a boost for our numbers. I get it.
Yep, exactly. Got to do anything for the views, man. But yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, I think Ryan, if he has a bad season next year with the new regulations, the new cars, I think it's his last season. If next year does not pan out, I can't imagine him sticking around. I really can't.
I give him 2 more years. I think he
2 more.
will. I give him 2 more years. I think next year you don't know what's going to happen with these cars. You don't know who's going to be good or not. So I think him going into it has to assume that anything can happen, whether they're really good or really shit. Probably the latter. And then if it continues again for the second year, they don't make they course correct at that point.
I'm not even talking about Ferrari's performance, to be honest with you. I think if he performs the way he's performing next year, regardless of what that car is like, if he's
Yeah.
consistently losing to Leclerc and if he's consistently making rookie mistakes, honestly, I think he'll hang it up.
Well, here's the thing, Sam. This man's making a fuck ton of money.
I mean,
money.
I
Do you think he's really going to turn down that type of money? Even if it's
don't know.
painful to sit through the 24 races a year, driving one of the most high performance cars in the world. I don't know. I feel like at the twilight of my career, just to rake in the dough, I'd fucking sit through it. Why not?
Here's an interesting thing. I don't know if you've seen this interview with Lewis, but they were kind of talking to him about his career in F1 and how long he's been in it, and why he's kind of so committed and not he really hasn't been dating anybody. And he goes, I've seen other drivers get families and have children and get married, and he's like, I could do that, but he wants to be the best. He wants to be the GOAT of Formula One.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically said in this interview that I don't want anything basically, I don't want anything distracting me, and I don't want anything to be like a what if. Like, oh, if I get married and have kids, what if I didn't have that kid and I could focus on my championships more? Like, he never wanted to put himself in that position,
Yeah.
which I think is very admirable for somebody trying to achieve greatness. But I think it works flip side. If he has 3 to 4 bad years in a row, and he's starting to get to the twilight of his career, there might be a flip where he goes, maybe it's time for me to have my own personal life.
I
Maybe
mean,
it's
you're
time for
right.
me to settle down. Maybe Formula. I think there's the flip side of that coin that could come back, and Lewis might be like, what? It's time for me to actually start my life outside of Formula One. So I think that might be a
I
factor.
I agree with that. Absolutely. If he wants to do it for a life decision, more power to him. I don't fault him at all. But I think if he was to step aside early, Sam, it's more because he wants to pursue something else finally and get away from Formula One, and not just based on his performance. Because I'm just saying, with the amount of money and the amount of lucrative deals Ferrari has given him, that's a hard thing to pass up.
Okay, let me ask you, because you're a bigger sports fan just in general, right? How many how many people that try to achieve greatness? I'm talking like LeBron, Kobe, Brady, Tom Brady. How many of these people who are trying to achieve greatness, and they kind of do to a certain extent, how long do they let them get bad season after bad season after bad season after bad season? Because after so many, I feel like it kind of puts a small tarnish on your overall career.
Well,
You know?
here's the thing. This is the part that's really hard to differentiate between Formula One and other sports, Sam, because I think an athlete in Formula One has a longer shelf life than an athlete in other sports. Like
Oh yeah,
they are both very physical sports. Don't get me wrong, but we are talking about well into their mid 40s, Fernando and Lewis cooking it up, where it was always a question mark over everyone's head. Is Tom Brady going to retire this season? He is the oldest person in the league at 42. Like that was unheard of, to have a starting quarterback in the league still throwing up numbers like he was at his age until he decided to finally end it. So, I mean, look at LeBron. LeBron is the oldest guy in the league right now. And he hasn't won a title since COVID with the Lakers. Like, I think it was like his first or second year with the Lakers. And people can call that a Mickey Mouse reign too, because there was the whole COVID tournament. It was a whole different situation. And
just like
but
how Lewis won his 7th world champion, there was less races overall. No, I'm just, I'm just spewing shit. Keep going.
anyway, so with LeBron, this man is still having a phenomenal career.
LeBron.
Oh, yeah, let me glaze LeBron real fast. Don't mind me here.
Yeah.
LeBron is still having a phenomenal career, especially at his age. I think he's entering year 23 or year 24. Chat, correct me, laugh at me, whatever. either way, he's putting up stupid numbers still, but he doesn't have the greatest team, and he's not getting paid. He's getting paid a good amount, but all of his money is coming from lucrative brand deals. Like, he has a huge thing with Nike, all this shit. I think for a person like LeBron, and he's said in interviews, he's going to go until the wheels come off and he doesn't perform at a good enough level. So, yes, and you're correct. And I think that is a factor. The part where I'm saying it's a little bit different is, and I forget the numbers here, Sam. You can correct me, whatever they are. I know Ferrari gave Lewis some huge deals, and I think it's residuals or whatever in his contract to be like the face of the brand too. Something that he wanted with Mercedes, they didn't want to give him. I don't know
I think it
all
was
the
a brand ambassadorship.
Yes. Yeah, there's a brand ambassadorship with it. I don't know the legality of it all, but I know it's a decent amount. So with that, I feel like that would incentivize me, especially if I'm a person that's not sacrificing my body like other athletes like LeBron or an athlete like Tom Brady or something like that. If I can coast for like however long his contract is, I think it's 4 years. I think he has a 4-year contract.
With Lewis.
Yeah, I think it's a 4-year.
It's unconfirmed. It's only been confirmed for sure for 2025 and 2026, but nobody really knows the actual end date.
Well, hey, I think, and based off of that knowledge right there, I say he has 3 years max on that deal then, Sam.
I think, yeah. I think it might be a 2+1 kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. So at that point, I think we're both right in this sense here. I think he could see how 2026 goes, and if he's like, yeah, I'll do 1 more year, if that year's shit too and he's shit, sign up, go home, take your money, and live your life, man. Live your life.
Well, Ryan, let's switch gears. See what I did there? To the other Ferrari driver, the pain himself. Yes, swig.
I wanna talk about this and what you
I
said
would
earlier.
hope so.
And what you said earlier about Lando being the champion that never was, that could be the champion that never was. I think that's what Charles is at this point. I like, and it sucks, man, because the dude has great talent, but God, does the universe just want to punish this boy with Italians?
I'm wondering if Ferrari's just getting their bad juju out of the way for Monza, and they're just making the deal with the devil. They're like, please, just give us Monza. Give us Monza. We're gonna have a riot. We're gonna have a riot in the country.
Nope, I'm not even convinced, Sam. I've lost all hope. I really have. I do not expect a Ferrari win this season at this point. I'll be happy just to get podiums. I'll be happy to get podiums.
I think you're going to have a better chance at a Hadjar win than a Ferrari win at this point, man.
Exactly. It's just, dude, it's poetic. It's poetic. It's comical. It's painful. It's all the above. It really is. Watching how fucking Kimi just dive bombs onto Charles in the turn 3, same turn that Lewis crashed out in too, may I add. Like, how poetic does it have to be, man? Come on,
Ferrari quarter.
Yes.
I think what's hilarious, Ryan, is that when he got into the wreck, you know who he was mad at?
The team.
Ferrari. He wasn't even
yes.
He's like, I'm just so bad you guys put me in this goddamn position. I didn't even want to come to the pits. I didn't even want to do this in the first place.
Yep. I do love it because, like, it seems like every race he finds a way to say something over the radio that he's pissed about with them. Like, he's making it known this year, at least.
Dude, I just want him to say no to the team just once.
I know. I don't understand.
That's all I want. That's my biggest. I want him to be like, no, I'm not doing that. This is what we're doing.
He's too scared of it, and I don't understand it. Like Carlos was able to be like, okay, you want me to do this? Fuck off. I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah. He's like, that doesn't make sense. I want to do this, or I'm coming in. We're doing this kind of a thing.
Yep. And yeah, it just, they have a tight leash around Charles, and it is tight, man. I don't understand how he breaks it. I don't understand why they have it that tight on him. Maybe because they just like the control of having their golden boy under their control completely, which they didn't have with Seb. They didn't have with Sainz technically. Maybe that's why they also wanted him pushed out.
Yeah, I think Leclerc was a little high on their own juice themselves. Drinking a little bit too much of their own juice, having too much, too involved, too ingrained into the culture of Ferrari. Like I think he's just so bought in. Whereas I think Vettel wasn't, and Vettel was like, no, I want to win. We need to do better. Stop fucking me over. And Ferrari's like, well, if you're going to talk shit on us, you can get the fuck out, kind of a thing. And I think, and Leclerc was there for that. And I think that plays a part in how much he, and then, he saw what like Sainz did too. Sainz was there and Sainz got knocked out for Lewis, which I don't know. I think we're gonna have a conversation at the end of the season if that was the right call or not, retrospectively. I think that might be a conversation we'll have 2 years from now too, if that was the right call retrospectively or not.
I think we'll have to look at it every season and just kind of see what happens. Like I think for this season, at least as of right now, chalk it off as we'll just have to see. I don't know. I can't say whether it was the right decision or not because I mean, look at where Williams and Sainz are at either.
Yeah,
they're not doing the greatest either. So it's not like Sainz is put into a better position either. But 2 years from now, and if Lewis is still acting the same way, then yeah, I might have to scratch my head a little bit.
I think we can officially throw out the conversation of, well, let's let him get ingratiated with the team, let him get used to the team. I think we are, 15 races in, 16 races in. And the only reason why I say that is because these rookies, Ryan, have started to do a lot better. Hadjar, Behrman, Gabby, like they have settled into their role of where they're at, that I think Lewis should be held to the same standard that I'm putting on the rookies, that, okay, you should know the ropes now a little bit, kind of a thing. So
I half agree. I half disagree. The only reason I'm saying half disagree is only because literally, and I think this is to cover their asses because they knew this was coming probably over the summer break. I don't know if you heard this, but Fred Vasseur said in an interview that him and Lewis completely misjudged how easy of a transition it was going to be for Lewis from going from Mercedes
because he's old.
Yeah. It's very true.
I don't know what these new buttons mean. How do you convert to a PDF?
It's a whole.
He's a boomer, Ryan.
He is a boomer. He is a boomer. I won't deny that. But I mean, I do think that there is some merit there of saying you spend your entire career in the Ferrari, in the Mercedes universe, power engine unit, in the team, the culture dynamics, and then you get shipped off to Italy and you have to deal with these asshats. Sorry, brother.
I agree with you, Ryan. They're just trying to cover their ass because that's a bullshit answer if I've ever heard one, man.
I just wanted to throw it out there for the record.
Too, if I was Fred Vasseur, yeah, that would be my official statement.
Yeah.
If Hamilton was doing trash, be like, yeah, it's just taking a little bit longer.
Yeah.
He's got a Rosetta Stone. He still hasn't figured out the Italian phrases yet, So.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But you are right about one thing though, Sam, and that is the rookies popping off.
We have a Hadjar podium. I thought that was a possibility around lap 30, just by Max's strategy. And Hadjar himself was holding off the likes of Russell. I'm not sure if he held off Leclerc or not.
He did.
But so he definitely tangled with the two of them, held his position. And you know what? Hadjar got there on merit from qualifying. He did such a good job. And, I think without Leclerc's DNF, which caused the safety car, there's a chance that Max's tires would have fallen off. He had the mediums. Hadjar was on the hards. There's a chance that his tires would have fallen off and he would have caught him and been on podium by merit. It just so happened that Lando did the work for him. And he got on there. And dude, Ryan, say what you want about my boy, Max, but he's a good papa.
No, he is. He absolutely is.
We had a good podium champagne shower celebration.
Yep.
He literally, I don't know if you saw.
Fuck McLaren, dude. They do not know how to celebrate with other people, those pussies.
You just drown them in your sticky juice. It's easy.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw, but Max literally took the bottle after, right at the end of it, he took the bottle, went around to Isaac's, face, went to get the last little bit, right in his eyes. And, that's the kind of energy you needed. That's the kind of energy I wanted for Hulk. And let me tell you what, Ryan, that cooldown room, I'm so glad Max was back doing the Max podcast, because you know what? He was talking and everybody was listening to him and there was conversations happening, and they even moved the chairs just a little bit. They put him off in a little corner. We got a little camera in there.
Wow. Okay.
It was a little bit better. I think it could go a lot better, but it was a little bit better. And
that's good to know.
Because we got two Red Bull kind of drivers on there. And Ryan, take away the sponsorships and all the legality that would do, but how cool would it be if Hadjar is able to get a P4, P3 on merit with a V carb, what could Max do with a V carb?
Congratulations, Isack. You have been promoted to Red Bull
To Red Bull,
Racing. You are. He is fucked, man. He is absolutely fucked.
Congratulations, you won.
Congratulations. Your career is ruined now.
Brian, I think, yeah, well, hopefully, you know what, Hadjar might get promoted at the right time, though, if he's going for the 2026 seat. But Ryan, I think in 2025, the year of our Lord, for the last 2 races, we should switch him out. I think Max should go to the V carb. I think, dude, you know how funny that would be too? The season started with Max and Liam in a Red Bull, and it ends with them in the V carb. And
imagine if Max wins in a V carb. Imagine. Oh man, your sticky juices would be all over the screen.
It'd be, dude, it'd be insane because I'm pretty sure V Carb's last race winner was Sebastian Vettel. So then for them to get the next race winner to be Max Verstappen.
No. Their last winner was Pierre.
Was Pierre in V Carb?
Okay, well, yeah. It was Toro Rosso, AlphaTauri, whatever. But it was 2019. It was Monza.
It was not 2019 though.
It was one of those years.
Yes, but yes. Maiden win 2020. Gasly.
Okay. 1 year off. My bad.
Yeah. So okay, never mind. Put a bit. Bookend it. I don't see why. I think there's plenty of technical and legality reasons, but Ryan, as fans, I don't think there's any more you could ask for.
That'd be cool.
I would love it. I really would. I think
honestly, fuck it. Put Max and Charles in the V carbs. Just give Charles the chance.
Out of the Red
Bull. Let those boys just have some fun. Because I'll tell you what, too, man. Max and Charles, they love a good race against each other. And like they are alive and energetic in the post-race interviews whenever they're talking about racing each other. Put them in the same car. Let's just see what happens.
I agree. That'd
be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. But going back to this, fantastic job by Isack. What a stellar job. I love that he broke his trophy too. That was fucking hilarious, man. Like, what a way to do it.
Dude, you just set it down on the ground. Tunk.
It just tink. Listen, I know people are like, we shouldn't be making porcelain trophies or ceramic trophies, but they do look so badass.
They look really good.
They look great.
They looked really good.
But it is such a story for Isack to go from us dogging on him in race 1 for crashing out in the formation lap, chalking this guy off to being a podium finisher, not even all the way through the end of the season. Like, what a stellar job he has done so far, man. Like, great job.
Well, I think that leads us right into Rookie Watch, if you're good with that.
Yeah, please, lay it on me.
Like you said, Hadjar absolutely killed it. And I kind of want to talk about maybe the worst rookie right away, which is Kimi Antonelli, which, dude, Ryan.
Cue the music.
I think you said earlier, you're like, oh, let me see what happens with Kimi kind of a thing. He's been having a bad run ever since Canada, ever since his podium.
Yeah.
He's been having a bad run. And guess what? That run is still going on.
He blew his load. He blew it all. All of his good juices gone.
On the one podium, yeah.
Yep.
Dude, he did that. He got a penalty for his maneuver with Leclerc. He got a penalty
Rightfully
for staying
so.
in the pit lane. At the end of the race, I was like, oh, he might lose like 4 positions here. He dropped, I think, 10 positions after the checkered flag because of his.
He finished. I have it here. Hold on. He finished 16th.
16th. That's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
And you know what? The thing is he's kind of getting judged a little bit because he's in a Mercedes, and we expect more out of him. But you know what? Those mistakes are pretty bad just of themselves, kind of a thing.
They are. Like, especially with the pit maneuver he pulled on Charles, man. Like,
did you see the interview with Max?
He did? No.
The pre-race interview with Max, with Gabriel Bortoletto, they asked Gabby, like, oh, do you think the bottom line of that corner is good? And he's like, oh, I don't know. Before he can answer, Max goes, no, it's impossible. You can't make a pass there, kind of a thing. And Kimi tried, and straight up ruined Leclerc's race doing it.
Wow. It's poetic. Of course, that'd be Leclerc. Of course, fucking course, fucking course, Sam. Of course.
Hey, but Leclerc doesn't blame Kimmy. Hey, Kimmy took out my guy too. So we're now even on the Kimmy killing our drivers statistics grid.
Who's gonna win? That's what we should bet on.
Yeah.
Instead,
who does Kimmy take out next?
Yeah.
Chat, let us know next race.
Who's the next victim from Kimmy?
Insert the TikTok sound.
Yes. Oh my god, man. So
to round out the rookie watch, the qualifying, the only rookies that beat their prospective teammates is Gabby beat Hulkenberg by 4 positions, and Hadjar just killed it. He was over Lawson by 4 positions, qualifying P4. Now, I already told you our worst rookie, which is Kimmy. Our best rookie, Ryan. I was genuinely gonna like put this in the air of what you thought between Hadjar and Behrman, because Behrman started from the pit lane.
yeah,
and he finished P6, correct? I think.
Yeah, his highest finish.
That's an insane stat. That's an insane, and I'm very curious to see how that now plays out in the point system and how it comes up. But I was really considering maybe throwing out Hadjar, the obvious answer for Behrman. But here's why I am picking Hadjar as our rookie of the week. Hadjar did the work on Saturday. He qualified P4 on merit. He held off Russell. He held off Leclerc. He did 2 safety car restarts, and he was able to inherit a podium position. That's amazing work. Now, yes, Behrman, crazy stat from the pit lane to 6th. But here's the thing.
He gets a good acknowledgement. He gets a good shout out. You know, I think that's deserving.
He gets the shout out. But here's the thing that's a little bit different. 1, yes, he started for pit lane, but we had 3 safety cars, so that definitely bunched him out. That's one factor against him. 2, Lawson, Sainz. Their little scrap gave them both punctures. They were at the back of the grid. That's 2 people that Behrman got to pass for free. Both Ferraris, he got to pass for free. Kimmy's penalties got him to pass for free. That's 5 cars that he was able to do based out of things that were completely out of his hand. So yes, P6 is really good, but more realistically, it would maybe have been P11, P10.
Which is right where he's at usually.
Which is right where, yeah, P11, the P11 god himself. So a little bit of happenstance for him. So he definitely gets a shout out. It was a really good performance. Good job. But the reason, that's why you're not getting rookie of the week. So congratulations, you won. But that's my rookie watch for this week, Ryan. I'm very curious to see how the point system happens, because I'm pretty sure in the real point system, some people really moved around. I could be wrong. Let me know what's going on in your world of points.
Well, if you want to pull up the actual F1 points, we can double check this to make sure. I'm here to disappoint. Not a lot of movement here, Sam, for this race weekend, unfortunately. For the constructor standings, they actually all stayed the same. So I'll just quickly run through this real fast. McLaren obviously run away, yada, yada, yada. 587 points. Congratulations. Ferrari still holding on to P2, thank God, with 426 still. Mercedes is inching closer, though, catching up to them in P3 at 399. Red Bull's at P4 with 370. Williams P5 with 274. Haas P6 with 260. Racing Bulls P7 with 255. Aston Martin's closing in a little bit, P8 with 248. Kick is at P9 with 233, and Alpine is at P10 with 168. That rounds out our constructors. Now, when it comes to the drivers, Sam, 1 through 12 stayed the same. So let me just run through those real fast for you. P1, Oscar, 312. P2, Lando, 275. George, P3, 260. Max, P4, 257. Charles, P5, 220. Lewis, P6, 206. Alex, P7, 157. Nico Hulkenberg, P8, 145. Kimi, P9, 139. Esteban, P10, 134. Fernando's at P11 with 127. And Oliver is at P12 with 126. Those all stayed the same. The biggest jump, shouldn't be a surprise here, Isack Hadjar. He moved up 4 positions from P17 to P13, Sam, and he's at 124 now. Yuki dropped down 1 position to P14 at 123. Only a 1 point difference between the two. Lance is at P15. He stayed the same at 121. Carlos dropped down 2 positions to P16 at 117. And Pierre dropped down 1 position to P17 at 110. Rounding out the bottom, you have P18 with Liam at 107 still, Gabriel Bortoleto at P19 with 88, and Franco Colapinto at P20 with 48 points. That is our driver standings right now. So not a whole lot right now. The biggest outlier is Isack, but he's also been the one that really just bounces up and down week in and week out, kind of where he ends up in a race. But I do think him getting 18 points in my point system was a really good haul for him. So hopefully he can kind of stay in this more midfield region now for the rest of the season. We'll have to see.
Where was Isack again? Also, I don't know if you know, but everybody's been. This is the first time I really heard it, but because he's French, everybody's been calling him Isack Hadjar.
Isack Hadjar.
Isack.
Ooh,
You know.
Isack Hadjar. Okay, I'll have to try to remember that then. So
Yeah,
Isack was at P17
P7
before,
okay.
and he
Before.
moved up to P13.
Okay, and where is the Aston Martins comparatively to him?
Okay, the Aston Martins. So you have Fernando at P11
Okay.
with 127 points, and you have Lance at P15 with 121.
In the real world standings, yeah.
They're all really close. Like from P11 to P15, it's a separation of 6 points. So they're all very close.
You know what's really funny actually? Because I'm looking at the real point system. Hadjar is P10 with 37 points, and he is right above both Stroll and Alonso at 32 and 30 points respectively, which I think is an accurate assumption. I think Hadjar being 10th makes perfect sense, and I think his solid performances do out. I think in the grand scheme of things, if you would ask me who had a better season, Hadjar or the Aston Martins, I would say Hadjar. I just think that's interesting. But what's really interesting is that he is tied for points with Hulkenberg, the other last name driver that starts with H who got a surprise podium, Nico Hulkenberg. They both have 37 points, and I just thought that was kind of cool.
Must be an H thing.
Might be an H thing. Anybody else got an H? Because I think I was talking to some coworkers today. I was like, I still would really like. Yeah, we have one more H last name driver. That's Hamilton.
Womp womp.
Well, yeah, maybe he'll get a podium. I really want a surprise winner. I think every season deserves to have a surprise winner. I don't know if we'll get that.
God, I hope. I really do, man.
Yeah, and by surprise, I mean somebody outside. I mean, I guess a Ferrari winner would be considered a surprise winner, but
at this point, I would throw that in there, but maybe that's just also the bias in me because I'm just depressed all the time.
But you know what I mean, though. I want a Gasly win. I want an Ocon win. I want a Stroll win. Some weird.
I want a Kevin Magnussen win.
Exactly. But if not, he's still alive. Everybody, don't worry. He's just not driving.
Rest in peace in my heart.
If I have to take just a Hulkenberg and Hadjar podium, that's still pretty cool. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that too. I would love more, but I think the stars have to align. And we said this earlier in the season, Sam. The stars have to align in being one of the McLaren drivers have to DNF for there to be an opening for someone to squeak in there and get that third place spot.
Yeah, and at this point, for anybody to win, it's going to have both drivers DNF or have a horrible late pit strategy kind of thing. I think both McLarens are going to have to go.
We're just going to have to keep praying that the Mercedes power engine unit keeps falling apart, Sam, because it still shows up.
This is we're about to get into our, DD segment here, but this is one thing I meant to mention earlier, especially with now that you said this. What's really hurting Lando now, too, after his recent DNF against Oscar, the McLarens post-summer break are clearly head and shoulders above everybody else. So much more so than the beginning of the season. The beginning of the season, you had a random Max win. You had a random George Russell win. Like, there's these just tracks that they were somebody was a little better here and there. But now, the McLarens are just so much better than them, which means you don't have a Max or a George slowing Oscar down. It's just, to me, that's no longer a factor. And it's going to be a runaway for a McLaren driver, which makes it much harder for somebody to crawl to. He's clawing back those points he lost, and he doesn't have any other help from the other drivers. I think now, because I think all the other teams have stopped developing their car, and I think the McLarens are just head and shoulders above everybody else. And I think Lando recognizes that. That was my last thing I wanted to say about that.
No, yeah, I agree. I think it's really a tough hill for him to climb up at this point, especially with what you just said. I expect, honest to God, unless there's a DNF, a McLaren 1-2, every race this season to go forward at this point, unfortunately, which is it's boring for us, but hopefully they keep it competitive enough to where it is somewhat entertaining, but we'll have to see.
Because he's running up that hill, making a deal with God.
Shout out Kate Bush.
Get her on the pod. See what she thinks. Well, Ryan, I don't know if there's police sirens or not because you and me are on camera, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do this sound or not. But if not, chat, imagine. Whoa, the police are here. Imagination. Until we figure out how to edit.
Yeah. Give us some time, chat. We're
Give
working
us
on
like
it.
a year.
Yeah.
We're going to look really good by 2030, let me tell you. It's going to be a whole new thing.
We're going to be huge. We're going to have brand deals. We're going to be interviewing Gunter someday, maybe Nico Rosberg. Give us time. Give us time.
Give us time. But for now, imagination. So we've been pulled over, Ryan. I really hope we have a designated driver. Ryan, who do you pick as our DD for the race?
I think, and I feel like it's the most basic answer here, Sam, but I feel like I have to give it to Isack.
I agree.
Yeah. For everything that he had to go through, for multiple safety cars, to go through slight wet weather, not much.
Sure.
But
well, enough wet weather to screw over a champion, yes.
Yes. A chaotic track, usually I feel like it's hard to do a lot on this track. I feel like this race was pretty hectic in general. Isack was able to handle it all and secure his first podium. He got there fast as hell. He did it in a safe manner. Dude was young. Dude was probably listening to some sick beats on the radio. He probably had some good shit on too, you know? And he also was funny as hell. So yeah, why not? Give it to him.
I agree.
Well, at least that was easy. But Sam, we always have a designated driver, but we also have someone that might have had a little too much to drink. And, you know, sometimes they may swerve a little bit. They might go a little uneasy. They might, you know, crash into something. I don't know. Sam, who's our drunk driver today?
Clearly the answer is Leclerc on his move on George Russell, which was just highway robbery. No, that's a joke. The real answer is Italians. It's Kimi Antonelli. He got pulled over twice and was fined twice. Not only did he kill Leclerc, when he went to go into the pits, he got another penalty for speeding in the goddamn pit lane. Like one of the easiest mistakes you can make. Yeah, to me, it's Kimi. It's his, you know, it's even worse because he's underage and they're going to take him away for a long time. Take him away, officer. He's been drinking.
You're going to juvie, Kimi. I'd have to agree with you. I was going to throw out there whenever I first watched the recap of the race and watch how everything went. I was going to throw Lewis's name into the conversation in merit of like this old man had a little too much to drink at the bar, fell asleep at the wheel, and then just, oh, fuck. Yeah, and just, you know, a little sleepy Joe moment, you know, something like that. But after seeing the atrocities that Kimi did underage and murdered my poor pretty boy Charles, take him away, officer. Get him out of here.
Kimi like swerved and hit a family van into the barrier, and then he went way too fast through a construction zone at the same time, and so he's just been hit with those double whammies, dude. So,
dude, Kimi, also the way how Charles's car just like flung around the way it did, it was crazy how he just spun around like that. So yeah, Kimi, you're going to jail.
We might cut this, Ryan. But I love how Leclerc spun around like that. And the first thing he gets on the radio is like, "I fucking hate you, Ferrari. I'm so bad you guys put me here."
No, I agree. It's you are right. It's funny how he doesn't even blame the guy who committed the war crimes against him.
He's like,
he has beef with the team.
I knew it. Which to me, Ryan, that's my pissed off experienced driver. Is Leclerc.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
yeah. Let's see. I'd like to know if you have another one, but to me, I think Leclerc getting a little spicy on the radio with the Ferrari, and then like he did kind of the dad maneuver where it's like you piss him off so much, and the car broke down, and he's standing 20 feet away from you guys, sitting on the hill, like
ripping a cig.
My thoughts. Exactly. That's the only thing Leclerc was missing was a fucking cigarette. Yeah, he's just there
one pull. One pull.
That the Matthew McConaughey meme.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
That's Leclerc.
From him in True Detective. Yep. My pick for pissed off experienced driver, the Mad Dad Award, Sam, was actually going to be Carlos Sainz because
Oh, yes.
he was getting animated whenever he found out
Yes.
he got that penalty, which, and if you can explain it to me, I would love it, Sam. I do not understand how he got that penalty. I really don't. And so I can understand why this dude was absolutely just pissed off.
Ryan, I can't explain it because I really don't know what happened to make that kind of decision. And to be honest, Ryan, he was even more pissed after the race because he did not even get a chance to talk to the stewards about it. They like shut the door
Dude.
to him, which to me, this whole steward thing really pisses me off because Leclerc had an incident with George Russell, which my hot take is that I think Leclerc might have deserved a penalty for that. At least a solid looking into. But the stewards,
Hey. Leclerc does nothing but
he can't do
clean
no
racing,
wrong.
Sam. Clean racing, okay?
Here's the thing. The stewards said that's way too complicated for us to figure that out now. Let's do it after the race. I want to hear from Leclerc. I want to hear from Russell and find out like who's really at fault. Somehow Sainz get into a small scrap with Liam, and it's kind of I think it's a
Barely.
coin flip. Yeah, it's a
Barely.
barely touch. It really is. It's such
It
a
looked like
small thing.
it looked like an incident.
Not only they gave him a penalty, they put 2 points on his license, and they said, "No, you cannot talk to us about." They would not even listen to him after the race and he's especially upset because the race director, I forget his name, but the race director specifically said, "Hey, I have an open door policy. You know, if we have a problem, let's talk it out." And they did not talk him out. All right, honestly, this is my tinfoil hat conspiracy. I think it's the FIA being a little pissy with Sainz compared to his dad's bid for presidency of the FIA. I think it's
You
a little bit
know,
of that. I think
you
it's a little bit
know,
of
it very well could be. Here's my thing too, Sam, is just I don't know. I honest to God, fuck the FIA for a lot of things and how they just the way that they decide rulings mid race or post race. There's no
it's
consistencies. There's
there isn't.
none, and it's very frustrating as a fan because we're sat here days after a race looking for a goddamn answer, and I
Yes.
can't even figure out what justified that.
And you know what? If one driver like got DNF for it, kind of a thing, and he's sitting on the sidelines, and you want to hear from the other guy, or it's so complicated, there's so much going on that there's like 5 other people under investigation. It's fine. Let's wait for after the race. But literally, that moment with Leclerc and Russell, there was nothing else going on at the time to review. There was no reason to postpone it. But for Sainz, it was a slam dunk. Get that man to put him in jail, kind of a thing.
Yep. Drunk driver of the day for the FIA.
Dude, that to them, that was their drunk driver of the day. It was Sainz.
Yeah, you know, Sam, I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on. I'm with you. I think there's some collusion here about
so.
his dad trying to do the bid for the presidency.
Yeah, I think it's a message. I really do.
That's disheartening. It really is. But I shouldn't be surprised. I really shouldn't be.
Well, Ryan, we are going to Monza next weekend, this upcoming weekend.
Italia!
I'm excited
Italians.
for it. I think we might see some collisions in turn 1. We know how that goes. Who's your hot take? Who's your hot take for the race winner for Monza?
Not a Ferrari. I'm not buying into Ferrari, man. I think our winner is going to be Max.
You fucker. I was going to say the fucking same thing.
Well, I'll see you then, buddy.
Sounds good. Sounds good, Ryan. I cannot wait. I really can't. See you there.
See ya.